So I just finished watching like a bunch of videos that actually had some interesting perspectives, a lot of beliefs that I already had, but they just kind of like bridge the gaps between some of the things that I think I already knew. So I thought I'd share some of these with you guys and ask your opinions on this. So there's this theory that Lucifer and Jesus is one and the same, and this is backed up by some evidence, I guess. But basically, both of them refer to themselves as the light bringer and also the bringer of knowledge. And there is also this theory that the God of the Bible, the Christian God, is not really God, that he is in fact an imposter, and that in fact heaven is actually a trap. It's more like jail, it's like prison, and that God put us in human bodies, and we are inherently fallen angels that came from the actual God, the Creator, which is more like a source, like a really big source of light. And it's not like so much as an entity, and we're all part of that being. And that is what Jesus meant when he said that we are all gods, which was also a phrase said by Lucifer. And that's just like a very interesting perspective, because if Satan is the ultimate deceiver, what would be the biggest deception? Just write a book and make all of the people believe your lies? Which is, it just explains a lot. It makes sense. I can go into like this and like, I can talk about it for hours. Let's just be honest. Okay, so I work with Lucifer personally, and honestly, his teachings is a lot in alignment with what I know about Jesus and Jesus's actual teachings, which were mainly based off of love and acceptance and self-empowerment and self-improvement. And there is no fear in any of their teachings, because fear is actually just an illusion. So the false god uses fear as a tactic. And also there's this theory that the ultimate sin wasn't committed by Adam and Eve, because back in the garden, the real sin was committed by God, or rather the false god. And he does go by like a name, but for the sake, we're just going to call him the false god. But he committed the first sin because he lied. He told Eve if she's gonna eat the apple or the fruit or the, whatever, she's gonna surely die. And she did not, in fact, end up dying. And then they end up hiding from God. And God were like, where are you? Where are you? Calling them out. Like, if he was really omniscient, wouldn't he already know? And also that whole thing where he's like, don't worship other gods, or like, I'm a jealous god, just proves that there's other gods out there. And like, the Old Testament is just filled with so much bloodshed. People like having to unalive their own children. A guy sacrificed his own virgin daughter to be basically become a human barbecue. Okay, like, it was not good. Like, tons of children, babies, were sacrificed in the name of this malicious, evil god. And the other thing to note here is that the disciples of Jesus worshipped this false god. They didn't understand Jesus' teachings, that's why they ultimately turned on him. And then when he died, they just went on and like did their own teachings, which is basically where Christianity in the modern form stems from. It's like from the teachings of the disciple, Jesus' disciples and the false gods. Okay, well, false god. Yeah, so I do believe there's a lot of entities in this world. I do believe that there is some modicum of good and evil, not that really that black and white. But there are some modicum of like bad entities and good entities. And this also takes my theory a little further about like demonic possession, which I don't really think is a thing the way it's being portrayed to be as a thing. But if you're looking at like any horror movie, like the whole exorcism thing, it all has to do with like the Roman Catholic Church. And why are the Christians the only ones that have like issues with demonic possession and demons infesting their homes and negative energies and things like that, that's literally like demons, right? It's because they're controlled by the god that they worship. It's just some food for thought. You don't have to like take any of this. This is just like my own ramblings and ravings, I guess. But it kind of makes sense if you really think about it. And it just puts in perspective that people will believe anything. I mean, we are literally indoctrinated into like a slave mindset to like believe all of this crap that we're just being fed. And the biggest thing that this false god wants is for us to be separated. Which is, it's kind of working. I mean, look at the world. It's literally on fire. So yeah, I'm pro Lucifer, pro Jesus, okay? I don't need to be saved by this false god, and I don't identify with it at all. I don't identify with Christianity. Not saying that all of the Christians like worship this false god, but like if you're praying, you're most likely praying to this god, especially if your prayers has anything to do with anyone else. If you're like praying for someone else, like I made a video on my YouTube channel on like how prayers can curse. I encourage you to go check that out. But like for real, like prayers can curse. If you're like praying for someone without their consent, that is a violation of their free will, and that is inherently, according to the Christian Bible, a sin. So yeah, go check it out. I might make more videos talking about this subject. It's fascinating. But anyway, the YouTube channel where I got like a lot of this information from is Morgue Official. Like I will like see if I can like tag him in the video. But like he has some very interesting videos, very interesting points of views. I also really encourage you, if you're into like embracing the infernal divine, to go check out Madame Fortune's channel. I always like shout her out because her content's just like really amazing, and they all share like references and things. And also if you're from South Africa, go check out Tristan, the Friendly Satanist. I'll try to link them all in the description of this video, but they all make very great content. Tristan is an atheistic Satanist, and then Madame Fortune, she is a demonolatress. And I am not really sure on the beliefs of Morgue, but he seems to be bordering more on like Luciferian beliefs from the content I've seen. So definitely go check these people out. Like, it's not just me who like seem to think things like this, and they're pretty big like creators out there. So I mean, I'm not really much to like sit here and tell you this, but like I want to know how many more of us there are that like has this kind of like mindset. Like, does this make sense to you? Or like, I mean, I know all the Christians are gonna like fight me, deal with comments like that on the daily, but hey, it's cool. Like, if you have a hater, you made it. So yeah, I don't really care if Christians want to like sound off in my comments, like sharing their close-minded opinions. I don't really care. It's not gonna change my view. It's not gonna do much to me, and it boosts my videos either way. So have the day you deserve, and hopefully this makes sense. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!